One of Donald Trump's most outrageous lies about Joe Biden, one that he was seeking prosecution on, was just struck down, and get this, it was tossed out by his own team. I have the embarrassing story and reactions for you next. I'm Dan, and thank you for watching Occupy Democrats. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button to get all of our reports on Trump's war on everything, especially the very satisfying losses. Let's get right into this defeat with the New York Times bombshell that reads, Justice Department under pressure from Trump fails to build Autopen case against Biden. Prosecutors in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington were unable to build a case, underscoring the department's increasing inability to follow through on the president's desire to indict his rivals. The Justice Department, after calls by President Trump to investigate former President Joseph R. Biden Jr., scrutinized whether Mr. Biden and his aides broke the law in using the Autopen to sign presidential documents, but was ultimately unable to move forward with making a case, according to 3 people briefed on the matter. The department's failure to build a criminal case against Mr. Biden and his aides is the latest example of its increasing inability to follow through on Mr. Trump's demands and bring indictments against those he wants to be criminally targeted. Some of those cases were rejected by grand juries, some were rejected by judges, and some, like the Autopen case, were abandoned by prosecutors. But the fact that prosecutors even pursued the matter to begin with reflects the degree to which Mr. Trump has sought to use the levers of government to undermine Mr. Biden's presidency by seizing on an unsubstantiated theory that the pardons Mr. Biden issued in his final months in office were invalid because he did not have the mental capacity to consent to them. The Autopen investigation was led by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, which is run by a longtime Trump ally, Jeanine Pirro. The inquiry was quietly shelved in recent months around the time that prosecutors under Ms. Pirro sought and failed to secure an indictment in a different case, one against 6 Democratic lawmakers who posted a video in the fall that enraged Mr. Trump by reminding active duty members of the military and intelligence community that they were obligated to refuse to follow illegal orders. In that case, a grand jury refused to issue an indictment, a once incredibly rare action in the federal court system, but one that has become more common as the Trump administration pushes the limits of the criminal justice system. In both the Autopen and lawmakers' video cases, veteran prosecutors were skeptical from the outset that there was anything close to sufficient evidence to justify criminal charges, according to people familiar with the matter. The administration's attacks on Mr. Biden extended to its decor at the White House. When the president installed a series of portraits of past presidents in gilded frames, the spot for Mr. Biden featured an image of an Autopen instead, sandwiched between 2 photos of Mr. Trump. Still, the failed inquiry has only added to the sense among many federal investigators that Mr. Trump has become increasingly erratic in his desire to use the criminal justice system to punish his political adversaries for behavior that comes nowhere close to being criminal. Time and again, prosecutors and U.S. attorneys' offices across the country have been pressured to open investigations into Mr. Trump's foes and have responded with various reactions, some pushing ahead with inquiries they may not fully believe in, and others pushing back by refusing to prosecute or resigning in protest. In November, Ms. Pirro also approved a criminal investigation into Jerome H. Powell, the Fed chair, whom Mr. Trump has long sought to supplant. More recently, the FBI searched an elections office in the Atlanta area based on Mr. Trump's repeatedly debunked claims that the 2020 presidential election was stolen from him. Those are the highlights. For the full story, please visit the New York Times website. Those are the humiliating facts that Trump does not want you to hear, so now let's amplify it with a deafening dog pile of reactions. Lay Juicy said, the fact the U.S. government spent 1 dime on this silly witch hunt should be the real focus of investigation. Trump's retribution campaign is undermining the rule of law and costing American taxpayers dearly. Lori Sirianni made 2 good points with, Autopen use is legal. Trump does know about SCOTUS Republicans' presidential immunity ruling they concocted to get him out of his criminal prosecutions in 2024, doesn't he? Or did his dementia make him forget? If Trump is immune to almost any criminal charges, so is Biden. A Wonderful Secret replied, oh, what a shock. Presidents have been using the Autopen for decades, Trump included. He just tried this insane scheme to invalidate the Biden pardons because Trump was salivating to get his vindictive teeth into Milley and the House impeachment team because he's a petty broken child. And the Green Dragon Tavern posted this message for the cult a few days ago. How you feeling, MAGA? Feeling duped? Trump arrest, Russia hoax, 0. January 6th, 0. Mar-a-Lago raid, 0. Biden Autopen, 0. 2020 election, 0. COVID, 0. Benghazi, 0. USAID, 0. Epstein files, 0. This story is just another example of the weaponization of government by our lawless and authoritarian, hold on, The control room is telling me Joe Biden has reacted to Trump's humiliating loss at the hands of his own legal team. Let's go to the feed.
You're laughing.